Get the cheese to Sickbay. The doctor should look at it as soon as possible.
Welcome back to the shipyard, and get the cheese to Sickbay. We've spent time talking about the big four, and we'll come back. But it's time to do something a little bit different. I want to tackle Ferengi. I'm doing this, and I don't quite know where it's going to go. But I'm going to start with the ships. I think I want to also get into captains. Maybe elite talents. We'll see how long it takes. That's part one. Next week, we'll finish Ferengi. And then the week after, or at the end of next week, again, time dependent, we're going to fix the faction as a whole. We're going to talk about what the faction needs to be better. I think it's important to analyze what factions need to be more competitive. So, Ferengi Decora class ships. Named ships are all 3 attack, 1 agility, 4 hull, 3 shields. They all have evade, target lock, scan, and we will go from there. First is Box Marauder. This is a 1 crew, 2 weapons, 1 tech. Probably the worst way to do it. If you performed a maneuver of 3 or higher this round during the roll attack die step of the combat phase, you may add +1 attack die. If you do so, place an Ox power token beside your ship. A very reasonable ability. If you go fast, you get an extra attack die. That does limit you to a grand total of 6 maneuvers, but it's playable. I could see this working without the Ox power token. It's a named ship ability. It only works once per round. Because it's a roll attack dice step, it's not a when attacking, it's a may. So, since you have to go fast, I would be perfectly fine getting rid of the Ox power token and going from there. I think that it would make it a lot better. The Kraton is also a 1 crew, 2 weapon, 1 tech. Action, disable one of your shields to gain +1 attack die this round. You may re-roll all of your blank results once. This one's tricky. I like quality. I like being able to re-roll my blanks. I like my extra attack die. Disabling a shield's not a huge penalty. Action isn't the hideous price to pay. The problem is I have no means of battle station quality, so I can get tons of battle stations. I guess Captain Carr is really the captain for this ship, and then it works. So, yeah, the Kraton, very playable. Problem is, it's the prize ship. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so the Kraton's good. Good to go. The Kreacha, that is our 1 crew, 1 weapon, 2 tech. When attacking a ship that has damaged shields, during the modified attack dice step, you may reroll a number of your attack dice up to the number of the defending ship's damaged shields. Again, passive quality, it's good. This is your missile launcher ship, because when attacking, so keeps working. Yeah, I like this one too. Nunc's Marauder, another 2 weapon. I want to know where our 2 crew is. Where is the 2 crew Decora? Maybe it's coming. During the activation phase, you may perform a scan action as a free action. If you do so, place an Ox power token beside your ship. Okay, so you can do a normal action, target lock, evade, a ship action, meaning a crew, a tech, an upgrade action, a captain action. And then you can scan. So there's some synergy here. There's not a ton that needs to be fixed. Again, it probably doesn't need the Ox power token. It's just a ship ability. So during the activation phase, you may perform a scan as a free action. Call it a day. I could see an Ox power if it was battle stations as a free action. But just scan. No need to be extra punitive. Alright, Cork's Treasure. That's a Ferengi shuttle. 2-2-2-2 with just evade and scan. 2 crew, 1 tech slot. And you do not pay a faction penalty when assigning any crew or tech upgrades to this ship, and you do not place an aux power token beside your ship when using the docking or launching actions. Cork's treasure is the shuttle of choice for any kind of shuttle build, because not only is it the best when it comes to being able to fit a ton of stuff on board because of cargo hold and the lack of penalties, it is also fantastic because if you do decide to launch the shuttle, it does have to attack, and it can make a difference as opposed to the Sakharov, which only has one attack. Yes, I know Delta Flyer has 3 and can do wonderful things, but then that's a ship you actually want to build to be a fighter rather than a shuttle, a pure shuttle. So Cork's treasure fits a great niche, and there's nothing really wrong with this. So as a whole, I like the named abilities on these Ferengi ships. My problem is twofold. 1, they lack battle stations, and 2, only having 3 attack dice really holds them back, especially because of the 90 forward firing arc and no rear arcs. That's just so tough. If you're only going to have a forward 90, you need to have battle stations. If they had a 180, I could forgive not having battle stations. If they had battle stations, then I can forgive only having 90, but just that 90, that's where my problem lies. So, they do have one admiral, that is Zech. For an action, or fleet action, you can target a ship at range 1, disable one of your upgrades, and one upgrade your choice on the target ship. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi ship. This is a worse version of Admiral Cork. If you're limited to range 1, you shouldn't have to disable your own stuff in order to disable an upgrade of your choice. I like the flexibility that I don't have to worry about shields, but ultimately, I am confined to range 1, and that's tough. I'm giving up my action to do this, and essentially I'm trading my action for their action to re-enable it. Unless I move later, which, as we'll get to Ferengi Captain skill, that's a tough thing to pull off, especially from my admirals. And if I run Zech as a captain, he's 2 skill. That's not going to happen. I'm going to use this, and then they're just going to move and re-enable. So Zech, at the very least, should not have to disable one of his own upgrades, but more so should probably have to either have a wider range or maybe do a disable and a time token. That way, even if they re-enable, it's still out of play for the round. That would be kind of a fun way to do it. Guarantees that it doesn't work for the round. Alright, captains. Since we just talked about Zech, we're going to work from skill low to high. So, Captain Cork, which I don't think I've ever seen run because we have Crew Cork, but we're going to talk about Captain Cork nonetheless. Skill 3, with a talent slot. 2 points. Action, discard all of your upgrades to target a ship at range 1 to 2. Target ship cannot attack your ship this round. You must discard at least 1 upgrade to use this action. You cannot attack or perform any free actions this round. At the very least, this needs to force the target ship to not attack, period. But discarding all your upgrades, all your upgrades to do this, that's ridiculous. It's worse than conditional surrender. And conditional surrender gets played because it's fantastic. That's just crew. I could see something like all but one of your upgrades. That might be playable. And then still keep the caveat you must discard at least 1 upgrade. We could also say that this is a once per game ability. The app next has that text. And then you just have a permanent effect token that you put into play. That could easily work. So there's other ways for Cork to be effective without making him get rid of everything. And also, I think that if you wanted to keep it as target ship cannot attack your ship, then how about you can't attack target ship? Let's just make it, you can't attack me, I can't attack you, but we can still attack other people. It's that, or I can't attack at all, you can't attack at all, and we call it a day. But none of this, I can't attack at all, you can't shoot me, but you can shoot somebody else. Those are not actions that I ever want to do. There is no point in those unless I am the only ship on the board, in which case I'm already making it into that action. So, yeah. Now, the aforementioned Tar. Skill 3, no talent slot, also 2 points. At the start of combat phase, if your ship is in the forward firing arc of an enemy ship and you do not have a battle stations token beside your ship, you may place a battle station token beside your ship. Tar's really good. Absolutely no reason to fix him. Yeah, I'd love for him to have a talent slot. I'd love for him to be higher skill, but low skill captains have to exist in the game in some degree, and he is a really good 2-point captain, so those things just have to be. Moving on, we have Bractor, skill 4, with a talent slot, 3 points. When attacking a ship that has an Ox power token beside it, gain +1 attack die. Again, very situational, but nothing here to fix. What you have to do is build in a way that you can give out Ox power tokens, and then Bractor works. Again, I think he is going to see some play. He could see some play. Skill 4 is what hurts him, but we'll get there in part 2 or 3. Brunt, skill 4, no talent slot. That one bugs me. Brunt needs a talent slot. Unique, 3 points. Action, when defending this round during the modify attack dice step, you may force one opposing ship to re-roll one of its attack dice, your choice. You may field the Grand Nagus Elite Talent Upgrade. If you use the action listed on it, you must discard this card as well. Okay, so we're going to break protocol a little bit and go talk about Grand Nagus, because it's not fair to talk about Brunt without Grand Nagus. It's a 5-point unique talent. So you can field it, but you got to pay the points. And it says, action, discard this card to target every friendly Ferengi ship within range 1 to 3. Each target ship may immediately perform an additional green maneuver. So first off, this should also target your own ship. And at that point, it still feels way overpriced. 5 points to give out additional green maneuvers, while potentially powerful, it just doesn't have the oomph that I want it to have. But for Brunt to take it and then use it and discard himself, I'm not seeing the value in it. So we're going to judge Brunt solely on his forcing an opposing ship to reroll one attack die of your choice. That's cool, but it's not worth an action. An action would be worth rerolling any dice of my choice. Just to say, no, pick up those 3 dice and reroll them. And remember, you modify before your opponent, because they're active, so they get the last say in their dice. But more so, because I think that gets into too murky of waters, just get rid of the action, and just have when defending this round, during the modify attack dice step, you may force one opposing ship to reroll one of its attack dice, your choice. I don't even like that, though. I think limiting it to once per round, just each time you're attacked, let this happen. So get rid of the one opposing ship. So just let it flow. Each time you're attacked, you get to pick one attack die that's rolled against you and re-roll it. So this is a 50-50 chance that it's valuable. But at least it works every time you're attacked. To me, that's worth it. And throwing in the Grand Nagus Elite Talent Upgrade, because maybe, just maybe, it's worth it somewhere, well, that might be a thing. It's not a thing for me, but at least it fits thematic purposes. When theme works, then I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Alright, Damon Tog. 5 skill, also 3 points, with a talent slot. Action, if your ship is not cloaked, disable all of your remaining shields, and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked, has no active shields. Disable one of your non-disabled crew upgrades, and then disable one crew upgrade of your choice on the target ship. Okay, so this is worse than Zech. His only advantage is that he's range 1 to 2. His disadvantage is that he's got to disable crew, he has to disable his shields, and you have to target a ship that has no active shields. So, let's get rid of all of that and just let it work at range 1 to 2 and pick a ship at range 1 to 2 and disable a crew of your choice on the target ship for an action. Damon Tog is playable as a captain to do that. That's a cool, reusable captain that you might consider. Is it great? No, I'm not saying that, but it's better. It's usable. It's Ferengi. You then don't have to trash your own stuff to make things work better. Second to last captain, Bach. Action, gain +1 attack die to each of your attacks, and roll -1 defense die each time you defend this round. No, trading an attack for a defense die, just rarely worth it. How do you make it better? Get rid of the action, replace it with at the start of combat. You may choose to activate this, and then you just let it work. It's a trade-off thing. I think that's probably the cleanest way to do it. Just, you have the token, and then at the start of combat, you declare if you're using the ability or not. I'd be better with that. I still don't love that, but at least you're not spending an action to make it happen. Because an action for an extra attack die is terrible. This is an action for an attack die to each of your attacks, so at least it works with Ferengi Missile Launcher. That'll net you 2 attacks. But, no. It's gotta be passive. Or a choice. And I don't want to just get rid of the minus defense dice, because that loses thematicism. I mean, you can run this with weapon ports, disable your weapon ports, and then you don't care about your defense dice anyways, but that just seems silly. Last captain, Nunc. Skill 6, talent, 4 points. After you move, if an opposing ship within range 1 to 3 of your ship has a scan token beside it, you may perform a battle station's action as a free action. Yeah, that's the kind of situational captain I like. It still takes some finessing, some building to make that happen, but it's the right range. I'm fine making it a scan token. It's going to be situational, but it's the right kind of situational. I don't see a need to fix Nunc, other than maybe to make him skill 7, just to give him a chance to work on a few more captains rather than be limited to only the things that move before him on skill 6. So, all right, we're running a little long, but Ferengi talents are actually kind of long, but I can be fairly quick with them. So bear with me. We'll get through this, and that'll be the end of part 1. Acquisition. Action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked and has no active shields. Steal 1 non-Borg tech or weapon upgrade of your choice on the target ship, even if the upgrade exceeds your ship's restrictions. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi ship with a Ferengi captain. Okay, a lot of text there, but I think if you get rid of the not cloaked, no active shields, or just the no active shields part, don't let them target a cloak ship. But beyond that, then it works really well. Because outside of that, the only way you're going to make this work is projected stasis field, just like every other one of these cards. Yeah, what this does do is it can steal Type 8 phasers. It can steal and then immediately discard, like a Matrix shielding, all those Fed tech and the weapons that are getting more and more use. Primary weapon enhancers, the Romulan disruptor beams. This is playable. The way you tweak it is you just make it a little bit better, or you do something crazy, and maybe crazy is what we need. We get rid of the action, and then it's whenever a ship moves within your forward firing arc at range 1 to 2. If that ship is not cloaked and has no active shields, you may discard this card to steal one non-Borg tech or weapon upgrade. Maybe that's what this card needs, and maybe that would make it fantastic, and that's the answer to all of our problems. As it is, I still think it's a little expensive. It would be really cool as like a 3-point card. Again, that's where I'd like to see it, even after I do some radical changes to it. But moving on, conditional surrender, 3 points, fantastic. It's all good. Grand Nagus, we already talked about, so I will just move on to kidnap, which is action. Disable all of your remaining shields and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that's not cloaked, has no active shields. Discard this card to steal 1 crew upgrade on the target ship. If the stolen upgrade exceeds your ship's restrictions, discard that upgrade instead of stealing it. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi captain assigned to a Ferengi ship. Let's get rid of the exceed your ship's restrictions, discard that upgrade instead of stealing it, and say you may pick a crew to discard. So either the one you steal or the one you currently have, or one of the ones you currently have. Something like that. Because maybe the one you steal is more valuable to you, and you say, we're not feeding you anymore. Or maybe kidnap just makes space for your crew, and everybody bunks up a little tighter, and we make it work. I feel like that's our fix here, is that we don't need to get rid of the crew if we don't have space for the crew. Again, also too expensive, but yeah. Marauder. After you move, you may disable this card to perform a battle stations action as a free action. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi ship with a Ferengi captain. Yeah, cool. Let's put time tokens on it instead of disable, and let's make it cheaper. Like 2 points. Or, let's go crazy, and just say after you move, you may perform a battle station as a free action. And then keep it as a Ferengi ship, Ferengi captain thing. That prevents it from falling into the wrong hands. And that for 2 points, like, there are times I might pay 2 points for that to put it on a Ferengi ship. Like if somebody says, hey, you have to play Ferengi, then do that. I might do that. So, okay, second to last one. Smugglers. Action. Target a ship at range 1 to 3. Discard this card to steal 1 tech or weapon upgrade from the target ship, even if it exceeds your ship's restrictions. If the smuggler's upgrade is assigned to a Ferengi shuttle, the stolen upgrade is flipped face down and cannot be used by your ship. The shuttle may exchange the stolen upgrade with a docking ship. The docking ship may then flip the stolen upgrade face up and use it. The upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi captain assigned to a Ferengi ship. Okay, this one I actually kind of like. It is acquisition, but better. And I don't understand how you can print them both and have them both function. So, and the other cool thing about Smugglers is it doesn't even say non-Borg. So, yeah, Smugglers is superior to Acquisition. And as such, the only thing I don't like about Smugglers is the cost, but for 1 point more than Acquisition, I still like Smugglers more, and so you got to take what you got. So, to recap, I wouldn't change anything about Smugglers except to discount the price a little bit. Maybe make it a 4-point card, or even a 3-point card. Because, to me, this is how cards like this should work in terms of discard to steal. Last one, Vengeance. When attacking a ship at range 1 during the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, you may discard this card to roll up to 2 additional attack dice. If you do so, when the attack is completed, your ship suffers 1 normal damage for each die you rolled. Again, Ferengi ship, Ferengi captain only. Here's what I do. I would say you roll +2 attack dice, period. And then you suffer 1 normal damage, period. So it's 1 damage for 2 dice. And that is a reasonable trade-off for getting 2 extra dice. And since you're confined to Ferengi, this is only taking you up to a 6 attack die total. At best, you have target lock quality. So, on average, you're going to hit 4 or 5 hits. Say they're likely going to get 1 evade on that. Maybe 2. We'll call it 1. Vengeance for 2 points is well costed. But yeah, doing damage to yourself is so tough. It's just not what you want to do as a trade-off. So I think a 2-to-1 trade-off is a lot better than a 2-for-2 or a 1-for-1. It's that, or you roll 2 attack dice when you're done and see how much damage you take. So maybe you take 2, maybe you take 1, and maybe you take none. Maybe that's what this card needs. Let's put the risk there. Or, actually, see, I'm doing this all on the fly. Roll the 2 attack dice separately. If they hit the opponent, they do damage to the opponent. And if they miss, then they do damage to you. So that could be interesting. Something to think about. All right. So that's the first part of Ferengi. Next week, we will tackle tech, weapon, crew for Ferengi. And then we will go over where I think Ferengi need to go in order to be better than they are. As you can see, there are some interesting cards, some things that I think are nice building blocks, but the Ferengi are lacking. As such, they need some help. We need to get the Chese to Sickbay. So, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care.